jealousy is a huge topic in our industry because
Love teams
abound. You are pretty much forced into a relationship with another person who is usually extremely attractive.
And also, you're involved in scenes that can be very intimate. I mean, you're investing emotion, even though it's just your character. Minsan may iba, nadadala talaga sila.
Yeah, and you have to be vulnerable. When you're acting, you have to open up to this person. So you're really opening up more than usual to a person who is not your significant other.
Also, syempre, di ba, nagkikissing scene. Syempre, kung cute naman yung kakissing scene mo. Di ba? Parang, sino tong kakissing scene ko?
I guess that brings us to us.
Okay, us as a couple.
Us as a couple.
And us in the showbiz industry and dealing with jealousy.
Okay, since I answered first a while ago, Bones, what was your first encounter of jealousy with me? It could be you thought I was jealous or you felt jealous.
Are we gonna name names or no na?
It's up to you.
Okay.
I'm not stopping you from anything.
Well, only because she's our friend and I know that she'll just laugh about this.
So this was the first time that talagang you felt something.
Yeah.
Oh, this is threatening.
No, tumatak talaga tong story na to sa
Yeah.
akin. The story begins with Mikael starting a new show and starting a new love team. And his love team at that time was Andrea. Mikael said one time, yeah, I have a new love team. I just want to get to know her more para we become more comfortable together on the set. And I was like, yeah, that's cool because I've been there. I've done that. No big deal. And then he goes, yeah, hinatid ko nga siya dun sa sa bahay niya. And I was like, what? Napatigil talaga ako. I was like, wait, you're not gonna talk yet. It's just me.
Okay, I'm not talking.
And I was like, can you just say that again? You made her hatid where? Her house, sabi niya. I was like, why? Is there a good reason why you wanted to take her home? And he said, well, I just thought that, since I was going in that direction anyways, and we were coming from a mall show, I just figured it would be nice so that I could get to know her more and then we could talk. I was like, okay. Here's the deal. I'm going to lay it out for you right now. This is how it looks like from the outside. People will see her going in your car, and yes, it's cool because love team nga kayo. But what I'm worried about is what kind of thoughts are you putting into her head? I think she was single at that time. And I don't want you to put any thoughts into her head like you're taking her home, galante ka, baka isipin niya may gusto ka sa kanya. And I don't want you to put these kinds of expectations in your love team. I want you to have a goal for it and have a goal for your love team. And if your goal is not to make her lande, then you need to make her aware of that. And Mikael was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, noted. But can I just say that Bones got a few of the details wrong?
Did I?
Yeah, so it wasn't coming from a mall show. We were coming from a workshop. I remember clearly. We were in Makati. I had my little orange Ford Fiesta. We were going back to GMA.
Okay. Sorry, but still.
Before I even continue, why were you jealous of Andrea?
Initially, it was jealousy. I will admit that. I was jealous that you were alone with another girl.
This is the first time I've heard that.
I will admit that I was jealous that you were alone with another girl in your car. And it made me feel at that time very insecure, I would say. Like, bakit kailangan may iba siyang kasama sa kotse? Now, before he did that, why couldn't he just tell me ahead of time? There were thoughts like running through my head. Like, Mikael is very naturally flirty when he talks to people. So,
admittedly.
I don't know, did he like touch her leg? Like, I don't know. Like, these are the things that I thought of, First time kong maranasan to, this is like my new boyfriend. Are we gonna break up? I don't know. Pinapawisan ako, Fofo.
I will admit, okay, if I'm going to look back at that story, Bones is correct in calling me out. What I was doing was I was trying to find the balance of, syempre, I wanted this to be a successful love team with Andrea. And I think that for the most part, it was extremely successful. But during that time, it was my first time for everything. First time in showbiz, first time for a love team, first time to be a leading man in a teleserye. I didn't know what was a good balance of relating to Andrea and giving a part of myself to her. And at the same time, holding back para hindi naman sumobra.
Parang you didn't know how you could relate that to her. And like, this
Yeah.
was something that you were used to and that you would do with your friends.
Yeah.
And walang mali siya yun.
Imagine this na lang. If I had done that and Bones felt all of that, but she didn't say anything, that would be so difficult. Kasi may kinikim-kim siyang galit at selos.
Oo.
That would also confuse me because I would think because she didn't react that I could do certain things like that. And you never know, I might have done more. Maybe
Yeah.
I could say, oh, maybe I can take her out or do this.
Or like
and
dinner tayo, ganyan.
kahit for me, it was wholesome. It was just all work, all business. It's just trying to develop chemistry with my
Yeah.
leading lady. But for Bones, yun pala, she's already building up negativity in her. So I think that was actually huge. You probably saved the relationship at that point.
Did I?
You never know, diba? I mean, if you think about it, it was a fork on the road and you had a big decision to talk to me about it or to not talk to me about it.
Also, I think like at that point, like we were very new in our relationship, probably like a year, no?
Yeah.
A year into our relationship. But a pact that Mick and I made when we first got together is that we would be completely honest with each other. I did have a feeling of, should I tell Mikael how I really feel about this? Because I know he only has good intentions. I trusted you with every decision that you made, whether it made me jealous or not. But I felt like I just needed to let you know that you might be putting other people's feelings on the line. I mean, I'm not assuming that, Andrea would have these feelings, but I just didn't want it to possibly get to that point.
We also had an agreement where we would not put ourselves in a position where something could happen with a third party. Of course, it's hard to gauge what kind of situations are these.
Yeah.
But we needed each other's help to be able to figure that out. When I told Andrea, hey, come into my car and I'll take you to GMA, let's drive there together, I understood the concern that Bones voiced out. And I was putting myself in a possible situation na baka may mangyari sa amin or may maramdaman si Andrea.
May mangyari?
Diba? You never know. I was opening up that opportunity when it wasn't necessary. I think yun eh. It wasn't necessary. I think that being able to talk to her during work and relating about our work was enough at that point.
Yeah.
So that was a step too far. And I'm glad you called me out on it.
So after I called you out, obviously you had to rethink on how you were going to approach your love team with Andrea. What are the things that you changed to make it work?
I think it was just a more conscious effort to think about how my actions towards Andrea would affect you. Because at that time, I was ultra focused at work. And all my moves were directed at work so that this love team could develop chemistry, a spark for the audience. But I realized that I have to take into account other people who matter to me. I think it was just a more conscious effort. I think there were other things naman that I did na you had to talk to me about or I had to talk to you about. I was like, is this okay or is this too much?
Okay.
Those were the adjustments that I made. It was just being more open to you and more open to myself na, oh, okay, there are other things that factor into this decision whenever I do something with my love team. I actually thought you were going to tell a different story.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
Pero yung jealousy nito was a lot less in magnitude.
Okay.
Day one mismo of my showbiz career.
Oh, okay. So, iba pa to.
Iba ba to? I don't know if you guys watched.
I remember.
Temptation Island was my very, very first project ever. And on my very first scene, my partner was Solen Husaf. We got on the set. The director gave us the script. We looked at it, and it said, no lines, okay? There were no lines.
What? No lie? Okay, I don't know this.
Passionate make-out scene. I'm like, whoa. But at the time, I was like, wow, no lines. And all I have to do is kiss a girl. I mean, siguro naman kaya ko to. So I just went for it.
Oh my God.
And it was probably the steamiest kissing scene that I've ever had. People were hyping it up in the news, the media.
I saw it all over Twitter.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I have never seen this scene in my life.
And that is where I think the first sliver of jealousy for Bones was revealed in our relationship.
Honestly, I didn't want it to get to the point where I would feel jealous. Feeling ko kasi if I watched the kissing scene, I would cry.
No, she
And
would
I would
cry. I
feel
promise you, she would cry.
So jealous because we were so new.
And this is really interesting because she had been in showbiz for 6-7 years already.
Yeah.
Ako naman, the way I saw it, business, because I had to perform. I had to do whatever I had to do. It was very business focused. Like, this is what I have to do, and I will do it as well as I can.
But also, I had never had a boyfriend in show business.
Yes.
So I didn't know the feeling. And I was like, ganito pala yung feeling na to. Bad trip naman to.
Yeah, so it was super funny kasi yung veterana sa showbiz, she was feeling all sorts of emotions and possible jealous vibes. And me, I was like, but don't you do this? I had to do this and I don't feel anything. Like, I'm okay watching it. I'm okay if you watch it. Like, I had zero shame. It took me a while to understand na, oh, okay, she's really not used to these things after 7 years.
Yeah, because the thing is, I wasn't jealous of Solen. I mean, I loved her. Like, girl crush ko siya. But at the back of my head, I was thinking, no matter kung sino man tong kakissing scene mo, I think it's the fact that you're kissing another girl that makes me feel jealous. Na hindi ako yung kakiss mo.
I understand that. It just caught me by surprise that someone who had been in showbiz for 7 years, I thought it was okay na for those in showbiz. That was my assumption.
Okay.
So it just surprised me that, oh, okay, not everybody who has been in showbiz for so long is okay with these things. Like,
Yeah.
it still affects them to a certain extent.